Hi, good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back here again with these late night talks with Sunway TES. My name is Andrew. I'm from ICAW Malaysia. ICAW stands for the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. It's good to have you here tonight. We have conducted this session last week as well on Thursday and Friday, and I guess this week will be even more special. And it's going to get more exciting as we will have more speakers, more student speakers, and more student, I would say, leaders, and where they are playing their role right now in their own firms and also in their own associations. It's really, really exciting to actually get to know them even better. You would like to stay on for the later part session as well. We have two prize winners who will be joining us later on, and also after this we'll be having Ravena in, and also having Alden to join us to share their particular experience as an ICAW CFAP student, and also at the same time what are they doing right now and where do they aspire to be in the near future itself. So without further ado, I would like to get Ravena in, and let's talk to her. Can we have Ravena?
Hi.
Hi, Ravena.
Hi.
Cool. So can you just tell us about yourself? So where are you right now in your ICAW stage? And yeah, basically that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so hi, I'm Ravena. I'm currently doing my advanced level. I'll be taking my CRFVM in November this year. And I'm currently working full-time at PwC Malaysia. Yeah.
Cool. So you came from can you tell us about your background? So I'm pretty sure, did you do SPM or was it O levels? Then after that you moved on to...
I did SPM. Yeah, I did SPM at a public school. It's called Taman C.
Okay.
And from SPM, I found out about ICAW because of my parents. They were actually looking to they were going to education fairs, and they were looking for a course that my brother should join. When I think this was when I was like 12 or 13. And then they found out that ICAW was here in Malaysia. And then my dad came home and he said, unless you can convince me that you want to do anything else, like you're 200% sure, you're both going to do ICAW.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We did not manage to convince him. So here I am.
Oh, wow. And so where's your brother right now?
Okay, so my brother is already chartered already. So he's done ICAW. He's been working for 4 years at PwC Malaysia. So yeah, he's like way further than me.
Yeah. So I think he's like one of the earlier batches, right? I would assume
he's one of the earlier batches, yeah.
It's just very, very interesting. We had also some conversations last week that actually it's like siblings say that, or parents say that ICAW is the one for you, no other choice, all right? Because that is the career option. I don't know, but what made you, how to say that, agree to actually do ICAW, that you couldn't convince otherwise that you should be doing other programs?
At first, when my parents told me I was going to do ICAW, I didn't really know what it was at first, because I was like, well, and I told them, no way I'm going to do this. And then after a while, as I got older, in my SPM years, so I was 17, ICAW was just the most rational choice because, number one, I wasn't really sure what else I wanted to do. There's so many things I wanted to do. I wanted to do journalism, I wanted to be a doctor, so many things. So I wasn't really 100% sure what I wanted to do. And so I couldn't really convince them about something else. Number two, financially, ICAW was also the best choice because I had been getting straight A's in my exams so far. So I knew that I was going to get either a full scholarship or like a partial scholarship for CFAP in ICAW. So financially, I just knew that was the best choice. So that's why I ended up doing it, actually.
Yeah. So do you know also financially that if you become a chartered accountant that you earn a lot of money as well?
My dad never stopped drilling that into my head. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite how to say, when you become a chartered accountant, you earn a lot of money as well. So yeah. Yeah, that, I mean, it's quite how to say, when you become a chartered accountant that you earn a lot of money as well. Yeah. people become partners. All right. I was actually sitting in one of the KPMG partners' car one time, and we were just going for a site recce and all. It was really interesting that his car was obviously it's a Merc. It could be a better one, but it's still a Merc. But there was a normally our cars we just have analog clock. There's a digital clock, right? I remember this particular partner's car. It was a Rolex watch actually sitting there as an analog clock itself. So I mean, like, I was quite amazed. I was like, wow, it's a Rolex sitting on there. I mean, like, for this, my question to you: have you actually ever seen like partners in PwC driving really, really canggih cars?
Definitely. I think all the partners, I mean, do they even drive? They have drivers. I mean, to be honest. But I remember there was this one partner in PwC. We were having a training session and he was conducting this session. And he had the weirdest thing, because partners, I mean, they earn so much. And his thing that he really loves to do with his money, which he told us his wife is really annoyed about, is he loves collecting like figurines of Marvel characters. It's like those small... and he goes around the world and he collects them, and he has everything like in this huge room in his house. And we were like, okay,
like great. Good job, right?
So they just spend their money anywhere.
All right, yeah. So work hard, play hard, right? It's like it's really about your passion. I think it's really down to what he's passionate about. I think that's where it drives, and there's like the motivation is to get there. I don't know, something like that. But you have a just now you said that you want to do a lot of things like journalism, doctor, and everything, but you are also a model and also an actress, right? So can you? Yes. So yeah, can you tell us about that particular journey?
Okay, so I started modeling and acting after finishing SPM. So I was like 17, 18, and I was so sick of doing all these clubs and societies and being president of this club or like doing treasurer here, co-captain. I had so many positions when I was in secondary school. So when I came out of it, and I was like, I'm just gonna have fun, because I knew that I was going to start work at I think it was like 19, 2 years from then, because after a professional level. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have fun. I'm just gonna do something that I'll probably never do. And I started going for auditions. And I remember telling my mom, we were sitting and we were watching TV. I was telling her like, oh my god, it would be so cool if I got to act in a movie. And I did, which is really, really cool.
You did.
It's really cool. So I got to act in 2 movies, a few short films, commercials. I got to model, like really, really honored to get to model for some magazines in Malaysia, and just all sorts of things. It was really, really great. The opportunity was really fantastic. So cool. Really grateful.
So I think the lead up question to this is that ICW is such a challenging qualification already. How do you find time? I think that's the common question that a lot of people ask, that ICW is such a challenging paper. How do you find time?
Okay. Actually, I feel like in ICW, in my batch, because I already know my batch, everyone in my batch is so brilliant, and everyone in my batch are doing all these sorts of things. I think Waylon came on last week, and he's such an amazing person. He's from my batch, and he's always doing all these crazy things, and everyone has their own extracurricular that they do, because they're just such brilliant people, and they're so outgoing. So for me, I just found time because I wanted to, and I guess I'm a really bad student. So like I don't really study that much. So all the lectures like but so I would like cram everything at the end so that I would pass my final. So I would, because I really wanted to do something outside of accountancy, just to fill in, in your life you have all these what ifs. What if I did this? What if I did that? And I just wanted to go for it,
That's nice. It's a very so those who are listening, it's like, you only live once, right? Yeah, correct. You only live once. Your time is so short. What are you going to do with your time? And I think it's amazing that it's like getting to do, I don't know, people dream of just like appearing on cover magazines, right? And you actually, not on the cover, but actually in part of the magazine as well. So I think it's great. So if anyone just want to check out, check out Ravena modeling. I think you can find it online. No. I mean, you can find it. It's reputable Malaysian magazines anyway. So you guys should be able to find it. But that is one thing that does this, I don't know, this modeling and also acting part helps you in what you do right now in your role in PwC?
Definitely. I think going out and modeling and acting, it was very, very eye-opening for me in the aspect of me actually approaching people and learning these social skills, the soft skills of talking to people. Because I was really, really shy before that. And once I started going out there, sometimes when, let's say you're filming a movie and you're on set with people for 2 weeks straight, and you have to talk to them, you have to cooperate with them. And even when you're modeling, you're on set with people for like a whole day or 2 days. And if you're not comfortable with the people you're working with, it really shows on camera. And it's very, very important to be friendly and learn how to open up to people and learn to get people to open up to you. And in the working world, that's also really, really important because your team, like, especially when you're on audit, you basically live with your team. You work like many, many hours with your team on weekends. And if you don't like your team, you can just die because it would be so awful if you didn't like your team. So I think in that aspect, it was really, really helpful to me. Yeah.
All right, that's quite interesting. It's more like it's transferable. The skills that you actually learn or actually get when modeling or actually in acting, you know how to put it in what you do right now. I guess you're enjoying it. I know you're working from home, but can you just tell us what kind of a normal day, if there was no virus and everything, what is a normal day routine that once you get into PwC, what would you be doing? And as like just give a quick snapshot of what's the life of an auditor. Are you doing audit? Actually, I'm not sure. Are you doing audit? Yeah.
I'm doing audit. Yeah. Ooh, I would not do tax. Hate tax. Okay, so basically, I would wake up in the morning, and I think about like, let's say I wake up at 8 a.m. I need to be in the office by 9. As auditors, we don't really go. I mean, for PwC, I'm not really sure about the other firms, but we don't really go to the office. We always go to our client's place. So I would drive to my client's place, and the particular client is about, let's say, half an hour away. They're all the way in Klang. So I drive all the way there, and I'm really tired and sleepy in the car. And then I get there, I work. So 9 a.m. you get there, you start work, and then you start fighting with your client, fight, until lunchtime. You go for your short lunch, just like, I don't know, 20 minutes, you eat, and then you come back. You work all the way until dinner time. And the good thing about PwC is they subsidize your dinner. That's like free dinner if you're working overtime, which is great. So we, get fat.
Yeah.
And then we work, and on really peak hours, I had a time I was working in my client's office until 3 a.m. Almost like maybe for like 2 weeks to a month, until 3 in the morning, and then you repeat the cycle. I go home, I sleep, and then I wake up again and I do the same thing. And then we have to go into office on weekends as well. So that's where the team element really comes in.
Yeah, you're staying with your family, right?
yeah, I'm staying with my team. So if you didn't like your team, you really would not be motivated at all to work, to do anything. Yeah.
So that is your motivation. You're just being together with them.
Definitely. Because like, it's kind of like a die together kind of feeling. Like, we're all in this together, and we're gonna die together, and we're gonna get it done,
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. Okay. It's how to say. Some people may take it differently. I think it's really, if you really have the passion and like, what's your motivation? Okay, to stay a lot. I don't know. I think that's where a lot of the challenge comes as well, where people are trying to say, like, oh, I'm going to stay away from audit because it's like going to be long hours and sorts. I've had a lot of conversations with lecturers as well as students as well. They also saying these kind of things. But from what you're saying is that you like it, right? You like that kind of environment. I wouldn't say it's the best kind of. I don't know. Yeah, your opinion. What would you say?
I wouldn't say. I think when you're at that moment when you've been doing like 12 to 16 hour work days consecutively for a month, you don't really like it anymore. You kind of feel like dying. But like for me, in my point of view, I'm only gonna be as young as I am now. Right now, I'll never be as young as this again. And as I have the energy now to work hard and to go places. And I think that it's not just audit. There are other fields as well in finance, like banking, which also work you this way, and you really get to advance a lot faster, and you really learn a lot. The learning curve is crazy. If you really want to learn, there's so much that you can learn. So I feel like while I have the energy now, I should really put myself out there and learn as much as I can and get as much experience as possible. So yeah.
That's sound advice, man. That's really, really sound advice. Those who are listening right now, if you are young or younger than Ravena right now, it's like just go out, try everything that you want. You will not get younger. Tomorrow, one second later, you're going to be older.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that is now my question to you is that you have gone through right now. You're almost finishing. I believe that you'll be sitting for your advance. Are you sitting any advance this year or next year?
Yeah, I'm sitting for my advance in November this year. Hopefully, CR and SPM. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you're sitting for both. That's nice.
No.
Wish you luck to pass. Then you can sit. Then you can sit. So then you'll be sitting for your case study next year. So you'll be working for a year right now. I would assume.
It'll be a year in September. Yeah.
Wow, that's quite. I think that's quite fast actually. Because I met you in the business challenge last year, and that was when you're finishing up your journey, your professional already, right?
Yeah, I think it was on my last paper in professional.
Oh, okay, right. Then after that, you move on. That's quite nice. Okay, right now, what do you think about the qualification? Was it a good choice? Was it a bad choice? I don't know.
I think, for me, it was a really good choice. But I think it's very important of how you look at it and what you want out of college, out of your college experience. So it's very important. There's many pros, so many pros to it, but there's also cons if you're not looking at it in the right way. For me, it was really great because it opened me up to this world of finance and business. And I really met a lot of really, really wonderful people in ICW because of how small our batch is. So we're all so close to each other. And I feel that it was a really, really great choice for me. But it really depends on what you're looking for. And I think it's important to consider that before you join ICW. Yeah.
So you said the good part. I think it's worth also comparing. You said that if you're looking at the bad part of it or the other side of it, what would be the bad side of looking at it?
I think that in ICW everything's really fast. You're going out into the world really, really fast, and I feel like if you're not looking to go out into the working world really fast, you want to have fun in college because college is supposed to be a really great experience, supposed to have fun and enjoy your time there. Then I think ICW, I'm not saying you don't have fun at ICW. I had loads of fun at ICW, but it can be very, very pressuring if you don't know how to take on that pressure because there's a lot of things. The SAMs are so much shorter than when you're in a foundation or
program. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and I think it's quite demanding, especially since we are just straight out of SPM and then we're being thrown into this whole thing. So that's where you need to decide. And I feel like degree students, I guess they get more time to explore the world. Maybe. For ICW, it's not very niche, but we're sitting for exams constantly. We're constantly having to balance like what we want to do with our exams and things like that. So it is a lot of pressure, and it's something that you need to think about what you want. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's nice. So you mentioned about pressure and all. So there was a question that actually I want to ask. Nicole, can you actually flash that question up regarding the age one?
Oh, age.
Yeah, it's like. So I think the question goes is like you went out to work last year, meaning that I'm assuming you were 20 last year.
I was actually 19.
Yeah,
because my birthday was in December. So I'm 19.
Okay. So yeah, you're 19 that year. Okay, so what was on your mind when you were going out to work? I mean, like you're getting a full-time job at the age of 19 or 19, right? 19 because you said 19, right? So what was on your mind?
For me, I guess like when you're in ICW, everything's kind of like planned out for you. You already know where you're gonna go. So it wasn't really a big shock that I'm going to work at like this age because I knew I was going to go to work at this age. But I think it's when you get to work and when you actually start working, that's when things really start to come down on you because it's crazy. The working world is really crazy. And I don't think there's any way that you can prepare for it. I think like you just go for it and you really try your best to make it work. And
wow. Yeah.
So basically for me, I wasn't really like, there's nothing really much on my mind going into work because I mean, you're prepped so well in ICW. Everyone tells you like where to apply, what's your ATE, and how to apply. So I don't really think there's a really big problem in going into work, but it's like when you're there, that's when it really hits you. Yeah.
So what was the, how to say, what was the paradigm shift that you had to I don't know, people would just say, oh, just go to work, be more mature. I don't know what is
You're mature. Oh
just
god.
become more mature. I'm like, I don't know what was it like. I think everybody has a different way of learning. And I believe that when you actually put yourself out, when you were thrown into the sea, that's when you're like, okay, I need to swim right now. So how was that like?
When I was at work, I think I was thrown into the sea when I was in ICW. So it's a really good preparation actually. So I think the pressure part wasn't that bad because ICW like kind of makes you feel comfortable with it. But I think what really hit me when I went into audit at PwC was the fact that I need to start making conscious decisions about my career, which is a really big thing to think about when like I'm only like 19, 20, and I need to really think about, do I really want to do this 5-10 years into my life? Do I really want to be a partner? Is this what I see my life as? Or should I change into maybe a different sector of finance, maybe internal audit? So I think like a lot of those questions are playing around in my mind. Is this what I want? Do I really want this? And I think when you go into the working world, you really start to think about all these things because you are in this environment which is crazy. You're working for so many hours and you're thinking like, do I really want to spend all my time doing this? Is this what I want? Is this what I want to learn? So those are the really big questions that actually start playing in your mind, for me at least.
Cool. So at the next question I had, actually is the last question I had. What is your aspiration in the, I don't know, in the next time? I don't think you, I think you mentioned that you do not know. I think you're still thinking in that process.
Yeah.
But
I think
I mean, like, just go on. Like, what are you still thinking about that, or I don't know? Or my lead up question to that would be, you enjoy modeling and everything. Is there any way that one day you'll be like, I don't know, open up a modeling firm or a modeling agency here in Malaysia? I have no idea because ICW Chartered Accountant, they work in so many different areas. Correct? It does not mean that you will stay in audit or in a firm in the next, I don't know, 5 years. Everything can change, right? Do you have any of those kind of aspirations?
That's very true. The ICW accountants, chartered accountants, they're everywhere. I think I would not be going back to modeling. I don't really think. I already tried it for a couple of years. Modeling, acting. I don't really think it's something that I want to pursue as a career, but it was fun. For me, what I'm looking for in the future is basically just to do what I love and define what that is. I think that's really important for me because I am working so hard and I'm ready to work hard and ready to put in the effort. So I just need to find something that I really, really want to do and I really, really want to learn about. And I don't know if that's audit. I'm not really sure about that anymore. But audit has been good to me in a lot of ways. It's been really tough, but it's also been really good to me. So I don't really regret at all going to PwC. It's been a hell of a ride.
Yeah, and then you got some more years to go on, and it's a longer journey to actually move forward as well. Right. Brilliant. I think there's a lot of things that Ravena mentioned. For those who are listening out there, if you're listening again, I think finding your voice. I think finding your area of passion. That's what Ravena is trying to say. But thanks, Ravena, for your sharing. It's really nice to actually hear from you. And all the best in your advanced level later in November as well.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really good to see you again. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No problem, Ravena. Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay, so that was Ravena. I hope that you have a lot of questions. And if you have a lot of things that you want to ask about student life in Sunway, and also want to know more from the students who are talking right now, just drop your questions into the live comments. Then we try to pick them up and maybe we can get them to answer as well. For those who are listening, and I hope that you can listen on later, where about 9:45 or so, or 9:50, that's where we have our 2 prize winners, ICW prize winners, to join us, and maybe can ask them about study tips. I have no idea. But right now we have Alden Chia, that I don't know. He's coming from a different kind of background, and it's good to actually listen why actually he changed his idea from moving from one path to ICW. Yeah. So can we have Alden? Alden, you're muted, I think. Alden, I think you're muted. Unmute your...
Hi, Andrew. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now, perfect.
All right.
Alden, yeah, introduce yourself, and maybe about something that you shared with me. How did you come into doing ICW?
All right. So my name is Alden. I'm currently at my last semester for my CFAP. In fact, next month I will be going for my professional stage in ICW.
Mm-hmm.
So previously I had a chat with Andrew, and basically when I was in my high school, I took pure science plus accounting, and at that time I was really focused on studying science because if you ask me at that time, science was rather challenging. So I feel like I need to put more effort into science in comparison with accounting.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up actually applying for A levels 3 months before my high school career end. But that was because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. A lot of my friends actually, we didn't know what we wanted to do. So for us, A levels was the safest choice. But obviously, my parents did not agree with me. They have always been telling me like, accounting and finance, I think is your thing. So obviously, like I didn't agree with them.
Okay,
but at that time, I was like, really, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about what you tell me. Yeah. But they managed to persuade me to join CFAP. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, one day after Christmas, which is like 1 week before the January intake of CFAP.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Yeah, so what they told me is, okay, they had a 2-hour talk with me. And then basically they told me, you give CFAP ICW a chance, give them a chance. If this is not your thing, then, you can definitely go back to A levels. We will support your decision. So I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll give ICW a try.
Okay.
But one thing I can confidently say is after I joined CFAP, I have never looked back. Definitely, I have never looked back. Because I told my parents, thank you for telling me that, I sincerely agree with you that CFAP ICW maybe it's really my thing. So I will continue to, progress on, that's how I ended up here.
Wow,
and
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the program right now? I mean, like you have not moved on to your your professional yet, but what so far for the 1 whole year, at least 1 year and a half, so what do you think about the program then?
I think, initially what I thought about ICW, because I did my research and everything before I joined CFAP. Initially, I told myself that, ICW is a really prestigious course. It's definitely one of the toughest if you compare the professional qualification course, mainly because like you have to finish your professional level and your certificate level studies within 2 years and 3 months, roughly around there. And also you have your internship after you finish the foundation of ICW, which is CFAP. And last but not least, when you do your advanced level, you actually just have to study the 3 toughest paper in ICW while being in the workforce. So definitely, I told myself, I have to be prepared if I want to step myself into ICW. But as I go through the journey, I felt that this is really my thing. So especially when you study in Sunway TES, I just want to point this out. ICW in Sunway TES is not just about studying your papers, passing the papers, or even acing your subjects and all, because it's really, really more than that. As I progress through CFAP, this is what I realized. Because there are really, really a lot of opportunities for you to enhance your skill set. And also the culture within the study culture, everything, I think is great. Overall, I would say my experience in CFAP definitely a wonderful experience.
That's nice. It's very nice to hear that. So some of your lecturers are actually online with us. So I think last week we had more lecturers. But I think tonight we have Jack with us. I think I saw Mr. Jana as well. That was online. I think it's a testimony to them to actually make your ICW CFAP journey very, very interesting. And also very, I don't know. Ravena said very comforting. Means like they actually put you like goldfish, right? You want to put into a water, right? You have to like gently put inside there. So
Yeah.
yes, it's a very high pace, but I think the faculty and also the ICW staff in ICW ourselves and also in Sunway TES, they are very, very comforting, I would say. Like take care.
Totally agree.
Okay. But I think one thing that you mentioned just now about being prepared and being know what you want to do and spending time wisely and everything. Right now, unfortunately, you couldn't go for your WBL. I think we were talking about that as well. And tell us, what have you been doing, man? I know that you've been going. Yeah, just tell us what you've been doing for the past 3 months or so before you move on to your professional level. Yeah.
I think, during this COVID-19 pandemic, many things have changed because for me, I'm definitely someone who like to plan everything that I'm gonna do. Like I know it's not possible, but like I would actually plan, like, in the beginning of the year. Let's say, okay, for example, I will do my internship during April to June. So this is what I'm gonna do, everything. But unfortunately, this year, what I experienced, what everyone experienced was you have to adapt. Everything changes. Sometimes you don't get things that you originally thought you're gonna get. So I think it's totally fine because once you adjust yourself and you find a new direction, a new purpose, then you're all set to go. So for me, when I know that I cannot proceed with my WBL, obviously I was a little bit upset because I was really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And what I did was I definitely, one thing that I wanted to do is I emphasize on spending more time with my family because for the past few months in my CFAP, I'm actually staying in dorm. So to cope with like the many things I want to do in CFAP and also with the studies. So definitely, I find at this period, spending with my family is definitely something I really want to do. But besides that, I learned that you can't just be watching Netflix and chit chatting with your parents all day. So I took initiative to learn online courses online because I'm really aware that when you step into the workforce, because it's very dynamic right now, the workforce, you need a lot of skill set for you to actually adapt yourself. So like there are different skills such as Microsoft Office and data analysis, this kind of stuff that I find that, I picture myself as an auditor in the future. I'm definitely not just going to read at the working papers and issue the audit reports, everything. That's all. It's definitely going to be utilizing more tools and all. So I'm preparing myself to that direction,
That's really, so I mean, like, can you like tell us about what kind of certificates that you already have? I know if you just go to Alden's LinkedIn, I think you can see a lot of certificates. But yeah, you just want to tell the audience like what have you gone through? And I think you went through some of the virtual internships as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just like, can you tell us more about those kind of things? I don't know. Would you like to tell people about it? Yeah.
Yeah. Those virtual experiences that I found out, actually, I find that LinkedIn is a very good tool because there are a lot of insights that I found there. So I found the virtual experience website in LinkedIn. And at that time, I was, as usual, I was just being curious. I went and checked out the experiences. So they have tons of virtual experiences. So what I tried was I went for the audit experience and data analysis. I think for me, I shortlisted these two experience because for audit, I don't have to elaborate much. It's something that I want to learn because I am not able to go for my WBL. So I thought that, maybe I could compensate the loss by going to these kind of virtual experiences like that. Yeah. And I think that, through these virtual experiences, definitely you can't compare with those internships, physical internships, but it gives you a very good insight that, this is something that you're going to deal with if you join this field. And also, I think I'm very appreciative towards LinkedIn because these platforms really just gave me the opportunities to learn more and improve myself.
That's very nice. It's a very, how to say, I think like you are way ahead of a lot of students right now. That I think right now you should be 19 years old. You should be 19. Yeah, I think you're 19 right now, but you're already thinking ahead that you know what you want to do in life, and you know what you will be doing and what kind of skill sets that you want to do. I mean, in ICW as well, there are more. I think there's other skill sets that you'll be actually developing because in your TA, in your training agreement, that's where you'll be picking up those additional skills as well, regardless of where you'll be training in the future. But how to say, using this time to actually guard yourself and put in like some additional softwares into yourself so that you'll be ready for the workforce. I think it's really, really amazing. For anyone who's listening out there, I mean, like, take Alden's advice. Just try to go all sorts that you can get a lot of skills for yourselves. But that is really something that where does that put you? Where do you aspire to be? I mean, right now you're 19, but where do you aspire to be in the future? Because right now you didn't go to work for the 3 months. But do you have any aspirations of what you want to do?
Well, for me, before I joined CFAB, my main goal was rather simple, I would say. I think I told myself, I have to study well, make some good friends, enjoy college life while it lasts, because I think ICW is also well known for being fast paced. So I also tell myself, besides studying, you have to enjoy life, But I think as I progressed through, I felt that one of my main aspiration is that I want to continue to stay curious. I feel like staying curious is a very important element for students, or actually for everyone, because when you stay curious, you will be able to continue to learn. The learning curve is always there, so you can upskill yourself and all. So hopefully, even though I didn't get to do my WBL in April because of the coronavirus pandemic, but I felt like let's just look forward. I'm currently looking forward to working one of the authorized training employers when I'm finished with my professional level. One of the reasons why I'm looking forward to work is I felt like if you go to work, you will definitely learn more like practical experience, practical things that is not gonna you're not gonna learn it when you study your textbooks. So but also like I'm well aware, when you go to advanced level, things get much more hectic. Like I do my research, I ask the seniors and all, and but I'm not someone who's just like, okay, I want to go to work, I want to do this. Like I look at both sides, so I'm prepared for the sacrifices that I need to make, but also pretty much curious and looking forward to what lies ahead in me.
That's really that's very nice. It's good advice. I think the common thing that I'm getting right now, even last week's session with Bisheng, Beilun, Kumar, and just now also with Ravena, and also yourself, it's you guys are actually living in the moment itself. You know where you want to go, but you actually don't know yet. So it's like having a map. You have a map, but it's like exploring the map slowly, bit by bit. It's like, it's this forward direction, but you do not know what's there. And I think the agility of each individual is very, very different. For yourself, you are using your time to upskill, to get all the knowledge that you have. And just now, Ravena as well, she's a bit different, whereby she's taking it at the moment itself. She may not be like the most knowledgeable or whatever, but she's taking it at the moment. She's learning things bit by bit at the same time. And every individual is very, very different. But one thing that you mentioned just now, like just now what Mr. Jana also just commented, stay curious. I think that's very, very true. Stay curious, stay on that path, and then just keep on going, and then you explore different things in front of you. But
Right.
Alden, that's really, really, really nice to actually hear from your experience. And my call and also my message to the people who are listening now and also in the future is that if you identify with this kind of people, with these students, right, like Alden, Ravena, and also last week's speakers, that is where I think ICW is for you. If you know that these are student testimonies, all right, these are student testimonies forward. But Alden, last thing from you, what message do you have for SPM now? They'll be sitting for SPM next year. Because of this virus, right, they're going to push. So they're going to sit in SPM next year. And also, those who have already completed SPM, what is your advice for them now?
I think because of my past experience, one major thing that I would say is do not close the doors that you think that you're not going to enter, because you will definitely find different pathway that you're going to walk to. Like for example, my experience is I was going to do A levels. I was on my way to become an engineer, like to study engineering in the future. That's what I thought I would be doing. But I think when you are in high school, like the last year of a high school, you have to do research, not just go for the safest path, but also the things that you think you may not be doing in the future, but just have a look at it. You're definitely gonna see something and find some new values out of it. So my major advice is keep your options. Lay out all your options. Do not close it. You will definitely find the journey of finding the best path for you. Every individual, I think, is going to be special for everyone.
That's nice. I think there's one question. Yong Zhe. I think just answer this one. Then after that, I'll get it. So, how do you manage your time efficiently while balancing academics and curricular activities? Okay, so do you participate in a lot of curricular activities? Yeah.
In terms of my co-curricular activities, I think the one thing that I really enjoyed the most during my CFAP time was participating in competitions. For example, the Nurturing Business Champion in Sunway TES, and also I participated in the Deloitte Audit Business Challenge last year. I think one thing that would drive me to participate this kind of competition is that, as I mentioned before, I was curious because when I was in my assurance paper at that time, I was thinking, how can I apply this knowledge in real life before I go to my internship? So I thought competition is a very good way to apply what you learn. And in terms of balancing your academics and co-curricular activities, I would say academics is still number one. You still have to prioritize your academics. For me, that's my take. Because that's the fundamentals of a student. So yeah, and like for example, for me, morning and afternoon, I will handle my academics, go to class, go to library and all. And my extra time, the free time that everyone has, that is one thing that you're gonna do, then you will find that it's not sacrificing your free time, but utilizing your free time properly. So that's what I feel.
That's good. I think that summarizes the whole topic that your topic, the title is like making the best of time. It's like during the time itself, be really focused and making the best of it, right? That's great. Alden, thanks for your sharing. And I hope to see you soon in Sunway one day as well. All right.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
No problem.
See you.
Right. Oh, that was good. If you guys are actually following, that's what Alden Chia. I mean, like he's really focused. I know how to use his time quite wisely, and maybe this is kind of questions that you want to ask to prize winners as well. So right now we're having Weijia and Jessie to join us.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi Andrew. Hi Vijay.
Andrew. Hi,
Nice.
Jessie.
It is the first time actually I'm doing like one. I mean, like three of us in a room. I think this is going to be very, very interesting. So I can you as for the previous speakers as well, can you like tell us, like, just introduce yourselves and where are you right now in your ICW journey? And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. You want to start with Jessie first?
Okay. I'm Jessie, and I'm currently doing my last professional paper in my next SEM, which is my business planning taxation paper, and I'm in the same class with Vijay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
more-
basically, my background would be the same as Jessie. Yeah.
But both of you for SPM as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, both also SPM or from SPM background. So I think both of you have like a different way of joining into ICW. Wait, were you from the same school?
No.
It's like it would be very nice. I don't know. I've not met like ICW pairings or friends who are like from the same school and then after that join ICW as well. Maybe we have to research on those kind of data from Sunway itself. But anyway, I think both of you decided to join ICW on a, I don't know. Can you explain on the rationale or the process of actually joining ICW CFAB right after SPM? Vijay, you want to go for this?
All right. So for me, initially I wanted to join CAT ACCA because I thought that was the shortest pathway for me to end my uni life, because I wanted to end my uni life a bit faster than others. And then ended up when I went to Sunway Open Day, and then Sunway TES people introduced me this program, which is CFAB ICW, and I find it very suitable for my study mode, because it's not just purely studying, because I need to work to complete this course. Yeah. So it suits my study mode. That's why I chose it.
So you were okay to work. So you wanted that work experience.
Yeah, because I don't want to like come out to work without any actual when you have a qualification on your hand and you don't know anything about your work. So I don't want to get only theory knowledge out of the uni.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Jessie, what about yourself?
I was a pure science student with zero accounting background back then in high school. So why did I choose ICW? Is because I think accountancy has a very good job prospect and accountants are in demand. So I think that's why I chose ICW, and also because I think the studying style, same as Vijay mentioned earlier, is quite suitable to my style. Yeah. So that's why I chose ICW.
So it's a very, very interesting. I don't know, this is a very different way of how the previous speakers were actually they actually found ICW. A lot of them were like family members tell them about ICW, but both of you were like, okay, I go for open day and I heard about it about ICW. So Vijay knew about CAT, but Jessie, did you want to actually go for a degree program before that, or was just ICW CFAB was just on your mind straight away?
No, because none of my family members are actually in the accounting or banking or finance industry. So one of my sister's friend actually was doing the CFAB program, and I talked to her about the program, and she actually shared a lot about the program with me, like the course structure and everything. So I think that's how I decided to take up ICW.
Yeah, nice. So both of you are going to finish your professional and you're going to out to work straight away. Are you worried of going out to work or not? I don't know. Anyone can take this first. Maybe because Jessie, you're talking. Maybe Jessie, you continue first. Are you worried of your work?
I mean, I am worried, especially in all the COVID-19 thing and everything. So I am worried about the job part, but I think it's actually planned out already. Like before I joined ICW, I already know the course structure. I already know that I will need to go for work in which duration. So I think we can prepare ahead of time. We can submit our applications earlier to the firms and everything. So I think it's not much of a big deal for me to worry about. Yeah.
Yeah. Rachel, what about yourself?
For me, maybe it's because I haven't gone through the peak period of the audit. That's why I'm very, very excited to work.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't think job will be a problem for me right now.
Right. Yeah.
And
So what have both of you been doing? I think right now classes were still ongoing, right? Or was online classes going on?
No, for this semester, but our semester got deferred to next semester, which is July,
Okay.
August, September. Yeah.
So good. So you're going to start soon already. So like something to do already.
Yeah.
But okay. So one thing I think the top of my question list for both of you is that both of you are prize winners. And both of you also join quite a number of activities. Or you find your own extracurricular activities. What is it like to actually studying for one of the most challenging professional qualification and still get a world prize out of it? What is it like, man? Jessie, you want to go first?
Okay. I think for me, I think the workload and the stress is actually still manageable. But I think time management is actually very important. You need to prioritize like your work. You need to your studies. You need to make sure that you are keeping up with your studies. And on the other hand, I don't want to like miss out on my uni life. I don't want to just study, So I decided to join some of the extracurricular activities. I am in
Like what?
the
Sorry.
AMEU. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it stands
yeah.
for Association of Malaysian Economics Undergraduates. Yeah, so basically it's about economics. Yeah, so what we do is I'm in the CR team, the corporate relations team. So what I'm handling is basically like stakeholder management. We talk to the investors, the sponsors, and the advisors. So yeah, I think back to the question, I think time management is actually very important. You need to prioritize your work.
Yeah. Which I'm bouncing back on from that. It's like I'm pretty sure your answer is going to be the same about prioritizing and everything. But how do you prioritize?
For me, always put a priority list in my mind and always remind me of what I want to get in short term and long term. So I would sacrifice a bit of my entertainment time, maybe to achieve some of the short term goals. Like, maybe I will set my exams to be my short term goals. So as my friends also have like different semester breaks, so we seldom can meet together. So I would rather like use most of my time to study and also participate in other activities in campus, rather than like spending all the time to like get entertainment, getting a lot of gatherings with friends, sort of. So I would say I arrange my time according to the significance of the activity.
That's sound advice. I think a lot of things that a lot of people ask is like, how do you prioritize, I don't know, a challenging paper with extracurricular activities? I think it's the summary. I probably just going to skip. I'm going to skip these questions like for tomorrow as well. It's just like prioritize. Know what is the short-term goals, what's the long-term goals, like what we just said, and whatnot. But down to getting the world prizes. So Weija, you were one of the world prize winners for the certificate level, and Jessie, you were in the professional level last year. Did you really like put a lot of time studying on those, or it was just like, I don't know, maybe you want to explain about the questions about in the ICW questions itself, that it's not just memorizing probably, or is it all about memorizing? Anyone can start.
Do you want to start first?
Okay, I'll go first. Basically, I got world prize for audit and assurance, and I think it's definitely not about memorizing. You need to understand what are the audit processes and why you are doing it. You need to know that you are like the audit processes. You need to know what you are doing very well. And actually, I didn't like study very hardcore for the subject. But I guess the work-based learning actually helped me a lot because I had my work-based learning, 3 months work-based learning with EY, and I'm very lucky to have seniors and managers that are willing to teach me about a lot of things about audit. So I think that's how I gain my knowledge about audit and apply it to the exam itself. Yeah.
So, Weija, is it same thing, similar thing as well?
Not
Or what do
really,
you have?
because
Okay.
I would explain from the side of maybe a lot of people will think that I'm kind of the hardcore students that I will study every night, the whole day, never sleep at all, and always do for the question bank. Like like your whole life is for studying. So I'll grab this chance to explain for myself, because actually I'm just the kind of people that I will be very, very hardcore in front of you. But at the end, maybe you don't, because at the for my private time, I would only like spend my time, relax, and then slack a bit, and then get my brain come back to normal, and I can grab more knowledge in class. So in class, normally I don't talk to my friends. I just focus on what lecturer says. Yeah.
So different kind of study mode. But I mean, were you surprised that you got the pro prize in the certificate level as well?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
because like you say, very hardcore, right? Like very hardcore study and everything, right?
Yeah.
So this is a question from, I think it's one of your friends, Ryan. So he said that what paths are both of you planning? Do you put him up to it? Hi, Ryan. So anyway, for those who are listening as well, Ryan is also an ICW student. Nice working with him in some of the ICMS events. What paths are both of you planning to pursue with the ICW qualification? Yeah. So do you have any aspirations down the road? Weija, go for it. Go first.
For me, I can't be very, very sure to tell you what's my answer, because I don't know whether I would change my mind in the future or not. But right now, what's in my mind would be, I would like to pursue maybe auditing first. Yeah. Until one day I cannot take the stress anymore, then maybe I will change my path.
But why audit? I don't know.
For me, audit is very interesting, I feel, right now, because auditing is, I feel this is the only field that I can experience so many different kind of industries in a very short span of time. And because I'm still young, I think I can still use my energy to learn as much as I can. So I think this would be the initial plan for myself right now.
Yeah, Jessie, I see yourself nodding and in agreement as well to say that, is it the same thing?
I mean, I'm still exploring the opportunities along the way, but I think I also want to kickstart my career in auditing as well, and the reasons are pretty much same as Weija. Like you can gain a lot of experiences through auditing, and I mean, it's a very wide exposure as well,
Yeah, I mean, this is something I think maybe you want to go into more detail about this. When you say, like, I think I heard about this, like going to audit, you can learn a lot of things. What are the things that you actually can learn from auditing that maybe you want to share with people? So like, what do you actually do in audit that you say that you can learn a lot of things? One, I think Weija mentioned about the exposure, the different industries. I think that's a given thing. But what about the work itself that you think that you can get a lot out of it? Anyone can go.
Okay, I think I'll go first. Okay. So for me, what I gained from my internship was, I basically need to understand the whole process of my clients doing for their business to be able to audit their stuff. And because of that, you will have a very, very thorough understanding of the whole business running. But because you are an intern, so maybe your exposure won't be that wide, and then you will only be assigned to maybe a single part, a small part. But because of the small part, you can also learn more than a normal person do. And you get to know how the annual report get to produce, from the very, very basic documents to the end reports that all the shareholders or the public can see it.
Wow. Jessie, anything to add?
Yeah, I think for me, what I gain most from the internship is I think is the soft skills part of it. Like we need to like talk to the clients, we need to apply effective listening skills also, and communication skills is something that I really gained through the 3 months of internship, because everyone has different communication style. So you need to you need to actually be able to communicate effectively to get what you want from the clients, and for the clients to understand what you are explaining to them as well. So I think communication skills is definitely what I gained through the internship. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very, very sound advice, lah. Coming from a very young age, I think both of you are like, I'm going to guess right now, you guys are both of you are like 19 this year. Wait, should be 19, 20 this year.
Because
No.
my birthday, my birthday passed already, so I'm 20.
Yeah, I mean, like
then
this year,
I'm 19 actually.
yeah, okay, no, yeah, but this year, so both of you are 20, right? Yeah, so and it's something that I think you are, again, also you're very ahead of I think amongst the other 20-year-olds as well, because the exposure that you already got, I think a lot of degree students may not even get your kind of exposure. There are quite a number of them as well, but I think out of the majority, I think both of you are very, very ahead of thinking of that. Yeah, I'm going to get this in a short 3 months, that you already decided that audit is the way to go to actually gain the knowledge out of it, which a lot of people like, I don't want to go do audit. There's a difference. Like, there's a huge difference in it. I'm not saying that doing, or I'm pretty sure that you have your friends who did not do audit as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of them, they do tax or banking.
Yeah, so it's a different area of exposure that they actually had. Then probably move on to a different one. But anyway, one question that actually I have with you is that, what do you think about the program right now? What do you think about ICW, the ICW qualification? Is it was it a good choice back then, 2 years ago, and now?
I think it's a good choice, because definitely it's challenging, but it's a very steep learning curve, and I think if you are willing to take up the challenge and try ICAW, you definitely gain a lot from it. Yeah.
Yeah. Rija, anything?
For me, I feel this is the perfect course that I'm looking for back then. But after that, I found out that, actually I need to sacrifice a lot of stuff to make sure that I focus in this course and get this course done.
Yeah.
So, but overall, I would say this course is very, very good for me, because back then I always wanted to scrap off all the free time that I got during the class and to put it gather all together and study like one shot, and then I get everything done, and then after that I can focus on my work. Yeah, that's what I wanted, and this is also what ICW can give me right now. Yeah,
that's a very, very different way of looking at it. So it's the same thing as well. Listening now and also listening in the future, to what Reja and Jesse are saying, is that it's really what you want. If ICW is the course that you want, and you identify with their kind of rationale, or you identify with their kind of reasoning to do up ICW, then ICW probably will be the choice. Give it a chance that you can probably get that particular exposure for it. But let's turn back time. If you were to speak to your 17-year-old self, or actually more like, what is the advice that you would give to current SPM's students right now? So they're going to sit for SPM next year, and also for those who have already graduated or already completed SPM, they do not know what they're going to do for. But what's your advice for them? Jesse, you want to go for this?
My advice is study smart. Don't just study hard. You need to find, because everyone has different studying style, so you need to find the style that suits you the most. That's how you can actually do well in your studies, and also have a life outside of your studies. Yeah.
Yeah. Rija?
For me, I would say just explore as much as you can and find out your passion as soon as possible before you step into college, because once you step into college, maybe for some people, you'll get lost sometimes. But because you have a free time before you're stepping into college, then you have a free mind to think of what you really want to do. If you really want to do something, just go for it. Don't care about, oh, I don't get qualification, I don't get a degree cert. Just go for it. As long as that's what you want.
So both of you knew that you want to do ICW in the early on. So would you recommend people to do ICW? Or it's like just you need to, or just like, or just what would be your advice for students for after SPM to think about if they want to do ICW? What should be their consideration be?
For me, if they are the person that they are looking for challenges, they are looking for extra working experience, extra exposures, then I recommend this course. But if they wanted to get involved in more society projects, then I would recommend them to take a degree if they are struggling to choose any course in college.
Okay, Jessie?
Yeah, for me, I think, sorry, what was the question again?
The question is like, what kind of consideration should students think if they want to take up ICW? What are the considerations to be on their mind before they actually deciding to take up ICW?
Yeah, I think ICW is one of the toughest professional course. So I think before you choose ICW, you should really talk to someone who's in the course, so that they'll give you some insights of like how the exam styles are gonna be, how the questions are gonna be, like some past year's questions, and the stress is real because you need if you want to keep up the good work, you need to actually study quite constantly. So if you are determined, I think you can do it. So just go for it if you think ICW is the one for you. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jessie. Thanks, Weija. I mean, like that's very, I think that's very groundwork kind of work, groundwork advice. Like if you want to do it, want to do well, really put in the hard work into it, but thanks for thanks for your sharing throughout this time. And I don't see any questions coming in now. So thanks, Weija, and thanks, Jessie. I hope to see you, both of you, in Sunway anytime soon. Thank you.
Okay, see you.
Thank
See ya.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So that was Jessie and Weija. So for those who are actually considering ICW, there's a lot of things to consider. Really, I think the things that I can summarize is really be focused on what you want to do. Next is also to stay ahead. Just continue staying on that particular path, on the ICW path, so that you can find out where you discover yourself in the future. So there's two things to actually consider. And join us again tomorrow at 9 p.m. until about 10 like this, because we will have more speakers to actually share their thoughts of why they joined ICW and also their time doing ICW. There's a lot of different ways people decide on things. And if you identify with these personas or identify with these students and you say, like, hey, maybe I am like Ravena. Hey, maybe I'm like Alden. Then maybe you want to consider ICW, because then ICW probably would be the right choice for you. So if you have any more questions, do contact Sunway TES or do call up ICW Malaysia. Our contacts are all on the internet, but that is where you can get to know more about ICW. And I hope to see you tomorrow as well. That's all I have for tonight. Thanks. Bye.